can be well solved at the Internet Society. So before we get to who will solve, let's first agree what are the problems, how can we get the solutions, then we'll find, as Rick Salmon said, the pathways or the platforms to go make these solutions concrete and to maintain them. That's very important. And as to your question, Jamil, about ICANN and whether, so let's be clear. ICANN has its own process that is happening in order to globalize ICANN, reform it, and get it ready post the US specific and unique role in ICANN. That is happening, and that is independent from this initiative, right? And I think the world is working with us to make that transition successful. Here in this initiative, we are not bound by that timeline. We are moving. We are building pathways to real solutions so we can move forward. I hope this is helpful, Jamil.
Thank you very much. The forum does have some experience in this space. If I can just finally call for one last word on my colleague Rick Salmon, and then just ask Professor Schwab just to draw proceedings to a close.
One final note, just would want to indicate that as part of this ongoing policy dialogue, our next annual meeting in Davos will have an important focus on this set of issues. Just wanted to make sure that was aware.
Professor Schwab.
Thank you for participating. It was a great engagement of everybody, and I feel if there's, just coming back to one question, if there's one key message which comes out, which is very important for the world, it is the willingness of all the countries who were in the room, of all the stakeholders which were in the room, to make sure that the internet does not become fragmented. Because we had a lot of discussions in the media of the possible breakdown of the internet in national units or whatever it was. But here I think we had a great commitment and a plea to keep the internet open for everybody and to use it as an instrument to enhance the dignity of any individual person. I also want to just come back to what my colleague Rick Salmon said in terms of pressure on us. We know, because if the deadline of 6 months was mentioned, I suddenly thought, oh my God, it's not 6 months, it's only 5 months. Because in 5 months we have the annual meeting of Davos, and we are very aware that based on the expectations which we have created here, we will be measured in terms of delivery. And delivery not of decisions, but delivery of a platform for real interaction. And I should remind you, we are talking about the internet. So a lot of the interaction which we foresee over the next months will be based on the internet, which means will enable us to include everybody and to collect as many good practices, examples, proposals, criticism. So it will be certainly a cooperative process. And in Davos, we will have the next phase looking at possible solutions proposed through this process. I want to conclude by thanking all the members from so many countries, from so many organizations who participated this morning at our dialogue. And I want to thank particularly the panel and President Ilves for the chairmanship of those discussions and the excellent cooperation, I should mention, which we had. This was not a meeting out of the blue. It was a meeting prepared, and I think the best preparation for the meeting, actually, Minister, was your meeting and your initiative. And my special thanks also to ICANN, with an organization with which we have established great cooperation to complement the more political, economic, social issues, also with the technological issues, because it's very important to have both integrated. We cannot separate the technical and the more political, economic, and social issues, each from another. And I want to thank civil society because we work very closely, and actually yesterday we had a preparatory meeting in some way of about 60 representatives of civil society. You see downstairs a tent. We had 4,000 young people in the age of 20 to 30 here assembled over the weekend. They came from over 150 countries. We want to integrate youth because they will be the main beneficiaries of the internet in the future. And finally, I want to thank Pierre and our business members because at the end it's also a business enabling, business-driven action which the internet represents. So we have to make sure that business is engaged in a responsible and responsive manner. So thank you again. Thank you, Mr. President. Thanks to the panelists.
Thanks, everybody. Please give them a chance to take their microphones off before you field them with questions. And to all the members and colleagues from the Geneva Press Corps, I very much look forward to seeing you again next week for the launch of the Global Competitiveness Report, which will be midweek next week. So if I don't have a chance to say hello now, please catch up with me then. Thank you.